One day, my family and I went camping in the countryside. We took tents, meat for grilling, and a couple bottles of vodka, basically everything we needed for a fun vacation. My wife invited her older sister, who had no family of her own. She was a sweet and fun person, played guitar, and sang beautifully. Her presence was just wonderful. People like her make any trip better. She brought such positive energy to the group, always smiling and helping when she could, which made everything even more enjoyable. We pitched our tents on the bank of the river. We chose the perfect spot. The river was calm, surrounded by tall trees, and the air was filled with the scent of pine needles and fresh grass. I was put in charge of grilling the meat, while my wife took care of the kids. My sister-in-law decided to keep me company. She brought the charcoal I had forgotten in the trunk and helped me assemble the grill. We laughed and joked as we worked together, and I felt good to have her around. We started grilling, and soon the kids came running over, followed by my wife. We had a great meal. The meat was perfectly cooked, and everyone looked happy. After eating, we decided to take another swim in the cool river. The water was refreshing, and we splashed around, enjoying ourselves. The day passed quickly, and as the sun began to set, my sister-in-law played her guitar by the fire. She had a strong, chesty voice that was mesmerizing. I have to admit, I looked at her often. She seemed so beautiful in that moment, her face shining in the firelight, and her fingers skillfully plucking the strings of the guitar. It was mesmerizing. When it got late, it was time to go to bed. We had 2 tents, a big one where my wife and children slept, and a smaller one for me. My sister-in-law had her own tent a little farther away from ours. The fire died down, and the night was quiet, with only the sounds of the river and the occasional rustling of leaves. I laid down in the tent, but after 20 minutes, I still couldn't fall asleep. The events of the day were flashing through my mind. Suddenly, I heard the zipper of my tent unzipping. I figured it was my wife coming to see me, since the kids were already asleep. Without thinking long, as soon as the tent opened, I pulled her inside and started kissing her. She didn't resist, but instead I heard soft, chesty laughter. It wasn't my wife. It was her sister. I was stunned and immediately let her go, stammering an apology. But she only laughed and moved closer, wrapping her arms around me. I could feel her warmth in the darkness, and she laughed again, amused by my reaction. Her laugh was soft, almost purring, and I felt the tension building between us. I whispered, "What are you doing? If your sister catches us, it will be a disaster for both of us." She leaned over and touched her lips to my ear, whispering back, "Come on, she's been asleep for a while, and so have you." Her voice was teasing, playful, and it sent shivers down my spine. Her breath was warm against my ear, and I could feel her hands moving slowly across my cheek. For a moment, I hesitated, wondering if I should do this. Thoughts of risk, of consequences, flashed through my mind. But when she started kissing me again, harder this time, my resolve weakened. Her lips were soft, her body warm, and I felt my indecision melt away. I helped her undress and slipped out of my sleeping bag. It quickly became hot in the small tent. It was cramped, but that only added to the tension. The feel of her body against mine, the adrenaline, the fear of being caught. Everything was heightened to the extreme. I remembered that night for a long time, the mixture of adrenaline, risk, and desire. It was something I didn't expect, but it happened, and it left its mark on both of us. The mystery and thrill stayed with me, and memories of it surfaced in quiet moments. That night changed our relationship, though we never talked about it afterward. There was an unspoken understanding, a shared secret that bound us together, exciting and frightening at the same time.